Hi, everyone. Welcome to Live with Blayne J, your weekly connection to people, brands, and businesses. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm super excited about my guests. These are childhood friends that I have known for such a long time that have turned into business owners. They run Fleur de Lis, which is a medi spa in Brooklyn. It basically brings luxury, aesthetic services to everyday people, and they do so much more than that. It's a whole experience and lifestyle at this point. So I'm going to go ahead and bring on our guests today, Carla and Wendy.
Hi guys. How are you?
We had a cameo appearance by our producer in the back. Hi, Carla and Wendy. I'm so happy to see you both.
Hi, how are you? What up?
So Carla, Wendy, and I all went to elementary school many moons ago. St. Francis in Brooklyn, New York. Shout out to St. Francis for producing some amazing ladies. Yes, shout out to Brooklyn. And you all basically went to St. Francis and now took yourselves in a whole nother direction. You are the owners of your own medi spa. Tell us about Fleur de Lis and tell us, what is a medi spa? Because I know I had to ask you all, I'm like, is it a beauty spa? Is it a medi spa? What exactly is Fleur de Lis and what is a medi spa?
Take it away. Well, a medi spa is where both Carla and I are clinicians. We're registered nurses. And so we're able to bring our expertise into the beauty world. A lot of the services need medical guidance, like chemical peels, injections, IV hydration, laser hair removal. Some of those services need an expertise. So we're able to merge medicine and beauty together. And it's a one-stop shop for all your beauty needs.
That's right.
And so because I have yet to go, unfortunately, but I know several people who have gone, and they say, like, you come in there, you feel like you're coming into luxury, you're coming into almost someone's living room. So what was the concept and the idea about Fleur de Lis that you wanted people to have this really experience, more than just like come here for your services, get them and buy? You want people to come in and have a whole feeling.
Yeah. So the thing is that Wendy and I obviously are both sisters, right?
And yes, I forgot to mention, if I haven't, yes.
We're sisters. First of all, thank you for having us here.
Thank you for being here.
Sharing your platform with us. First of all, Wendy and I, again, like we were saying, are sisters. So we wanted one to provide access to our community. We both used to work in the city on the Upper East Side and in Manhattan, and we always felt like there was a lack of that, aesthetic, that luxury, that self-care need in our backyard. So we decided, what else to do? Create it yourself. So when we were thinking about the space, we wanted to feel, one, like home, like you were coming to your sister's house. And two, we wanted to have a clinical feel, but yet a luxurious feel. So we had a lot of florals, but it kind of feels like you're still like in a professional space. Mm-hmm. So that's pretty much what Fleur de Lis is all about.
And you opened during the pandemic, which was it's really fascinating because so many businesses were closing during the pandemic. So what did that take for you to actually get like a brick and mortar store during a pandemic at a time where businesses were shutting down? What did you have to do to even get that?
So you just have to boost on your faith and hope everything will work out in the end. So we acquired the space right before the pandemic hit in November. And then in the middle of construction, we had to shut everything down. Carla resorted to being a Zoom school mom, and I went back into the hospital to work on the front lines while we were waiting for the word on where to start off. So in the middle, there was a lot of worry. There was a lot of panic in terms of, is this going to happen? We're halfway there. What's going on? But you just have to keep on praying, keep on pushing, and we were able to get out of that.
Yeah.
Now, let me ask, because during the pandemic, again, a lot of people were getting laid off, and you all were like, I'm going to leave my secure job and I'm going to go on this leap of faith and trust that this is going to work. Can you talk about what that takes? Because I don't know anybody that was like, I'm going to take this time to leave my secure job. So was it just having the faith in yourself and in this idea that it was going to work and you just were not going to fail? What was it that you held on to, that you were just like, I'm going to make this work and we're going to do this?
Well, I'll take that one. It was a mixture of two things. I left my job as a nurse in 2016. 2015 to be exact. And because I had a dream for this space, I didn't know it was going to take all those years for it to come to fruition. But I did have a vision, and my sister and I were talking, we were walking, we were like, how can we bring this vision to life? And so she was like, you know what, you go ahead first, leave your job, go continue.
I feel like she's like, you try it out and see if it works for you. And then I'll see if I'm going to leave my job if it doesn't work for you. Yeah.
Stay behind and, help me, pay the bills and, kind of, it was like a family situation, ensuring, because, I have children in private school. So that was a pretty expensive thing. Like, whoa, how are you going to do this? But it was for a larger cause. So after that, in 2020, she was like, okay, it's time for me to go. So we had a little like, oh my gosh, quit your job party. And that's how we both went full time.
Yeah, it was a hard decision because, we're so conditioned to go to college, go to work, get a job. This is what you do. And so I was juggling both at the same time. So being present at Fleur de Lis, all this energy pulling, being present in front of your client, giving them what they need, and still having to meet the responsibilities of work. Luckily, I was working from home at the time, but still splitting your time was very exhausting. And so that October 2020, I made the decision. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to take a leap of faith. We're going to figure this thing out. And I was able to quit my full-time job as a nurse in the field and commit to Fleur de Lis Beauty.
Talk about believing in yourself. Like, I mean, the both of you are so close with each other. You have such a solid family network too. So I know that you had people that were backing you to be like, y'all got this. It's okay. You're gonna
Actually, my mom was like, what are you doing?
we're from a Caribbean, strict Haitian background. She's like, what are you talking about?
What do you mean you're not going to work? Like, what do you mean?
She's like, I told you, you go to school, you go to work. That's what you do.
Yeah. My dad was more on board because he's an entrepreneur himself. My mother was more like, we need security. We need to make sure that you have health insurance but when she started seeing things and how, like, she's on social media too, so she sees what's going on. She goes, oh, I get it now.
And I say that it's very important to continue and commit to your dream. It's hard to keep moving when you have nothing, right? So you have to really be so focused and believe that I'm going to make it. I don't care what anyone says, and continue to be strategic in your planning. Don't let anyone deter you because it's easy. So many people are like, are you crazy? You're a nurse. What are you talking about? You're going to esthetician school. That's crazy. And, crazy turned into
your business.
Yeah.
You need that Kanye West
You need that Kanye.
You need that Kanye West face. He believes in himself.
He does. He believes in everything he says and does. And I think we all do need that, with a little more toned down, but we need that energy though. We do.
Yes, we do.
You said something interesting. You have to believe in yourself. You had this idea. You were like, it's going to work. What was it about esthetician services and medi services that you were like, this is something that the community needs? Because some people watching, we're talking because we know New York, we know Brooklyn, but some people watching, where the store is located, where the spa is located, is in an area that's heavily Caribbean, I would say. Yes. It's in an area that has like a lot of stores, but nothing like the service that you provide. No. So what was it about the area that you were like, we're going to bring these services to this area, and we know that people are going to love it? Because it is a risk with any business that people open. So what was it that you were like, this is what's needed specifically in this area?
Well, my children go to school on Fifth Avenue, like on the Upper East Side, and we both worked on the Upper East Side. And for those of you who don't know, the Upper East Side, Fifth Avenue, it's like
Rodeo
fabulous.
Yes, very bougie.
Cartier, Chanel, it's
Louis Vuitton, everything. Yeah,
it's Louis Vuitton. It's all the high-end stores. And in that area, also, you would see the women getting their nails done and getting their facials. And I was like, well, I want to get a facial. I want to experience that, but I also wanted to experience it with someone who understood my skin type and my Fitzpatrick, my melanin, right? And I felt like that was a lack in our neighborhood. So I said to Wendy, let's build it and they'll come. So that's what we did.
And how did you get the word out after it was built? Were you relying strictly on social media? Were you plucking clients from, people that you already worked with? How did you get the word out? Because again, you started in a pandemic, things were closing down. You're now like, we have this business, we have to keep it open. We need people to do that, right?
Yes.
So how did you even get the word out about it, given all of the context that we just said?
So we moved into our brick and mortar during the pandemic, but the business was operational prior to, on a smaller scale. Carla was the main person providing the facials, and I was doing the back end stuff, making sure the appointments and the supplies and everything, just operations. And how we were able to sustain is word of mouth. One thing you can rely on the Black community, they're going to make you or break you.
They're going to
And so doing referral services, because a lot of people were getting those services for the first time. And when you walk into the space that we were prior, it was literally a closet. It was so small. And every day Carla would be like, do you think people will be uncomfortable? 3 people can be in the room at the same time.
Yeah.
So, but we made it in a cozy way where when you were in there, it felt like you were in a bigger space.
Yeah.
So then from then, being there, I think for about a year, just saving and just thinking and visualizing what the next steps will be, we were able to garner the trust of the clients that were coming who said, Carla, Wendy, I don't care where y'all go. We're going to follow.
They started looking for us. Looking for commercial spaces. I would get text messages like, I found the perfect space for you. And so it was really the community that rallied behind us to make us think you can do what you think you can't do. And I'm forever indebted to our social media, our clients. They are the people who did a lot of the groundwork for us.
And also too, nobody, I don't know about you guys, but I didn't want to go to the city anymore.
No.
For stuff.
Yeah.
I wanted to be able to do everything I needed to do in my neighborhood. So getting on the train, getting on the bridge to go get a facial, which is absurd to me at this point. I was like, there needs to be an opportunity where I can have this in my backyard. We grew up in Flatbush. We grew up in Brooklyn. So I think that was the most appropriate area to have something like this, and just to kind of get everybody accustomed to seeing beauty, accustomed in their neighborhood. Because, Brooklyn is gritty. It's Brooklyn, so giving it that nice feel on the block that we are, it just worked out perfectly.
Yeah. And when people walk by, we made it a point to ensure that we took it up a notch. We took it up to the next level, even down to the storefront, the glass. We said we wanted it to be glass. We want you to be able to see through. We don't want any barricades,
right?
Curtains.
We're not hiding what we're doing.
Hiding what we're doing. We put Wendy is queen of the florals, and she put a beautiful floral installation. Shout out to McKinney for helping us with that. And everyone's like, what is this space? What is going on behind these doors? And that kind of drew people in because they've never seen anything like it on the block. Usually you'll see that in some high-end area, but we wanted to transform the way we treat ourselves in our community.
And that transformation, I think, is so noticeable because Wendy is Brooklyn's gritty because that's how we know it to be. But gritty or not, you all have taken this space and you now have people that come to you. You have celebrities that trek into Brooklyn to come to you to get your services. You could have been we're going to be in the middle of nowhere in a side alley, whatever. And like you said, people are loyal to services. So they were okay, you're where? Flatbush Avenue? No problem. And so you now have this high-end clientele that you are bringing into your shop, bringing into Brooklyn, to whatever grittiness we know. They're I don't care. I follow hair people. I know if you do my hair really well, I will go to the ends of the earth to follow where you are,
Clients will come and get a facial and go right across the street and get some roti or some jerky.
And get a beef patty and be
okay. Right to Target down there. So we've been able to infuse this culture of self-care within your day-to-day. So you can run your errands and take the time out in your day to come and get a service that you need.
Yes. And I remember when you say people truck and they don't care where you are, I remember we were in the small closet and SZA reached out to us, and we were like, no, this is a hack. There's no way. And she was like, yeah, I heard y'all lit. Let me come out.
She called you herself? She called herself?
She DM'd us.
Oh, wow. And you know she got a blue check. So you were like, okay, this is legit. This is like her account.
So we immediately drop everything and we're like, SZA's coming. And we were literally in a small room. And at first we were so embarrassed. And she was like, why y'all embarrassed? I'm here. That means you're everything. Wow. So it doesn't matter where you are. It doesn't matter what room you're in. You know, just make sure you're authentically yourself and people will come.
So people are coming, and tell us a little bit more about when they come, what is the experience that they're getting that is all the buzz that has people coming back? So you come into this beautiful space, you feel like you're in someone's living room. Tell us about some of the services. You mentioned them in the beginning, but let's just pick like the most popular one and take us through an experience. Because I follow you all on Instagram and I'm like, oh, it's a party every time. There's like bottles popping and people dancing, and it just looks like a girl's day in or something. It looks so great.
So yes, we offer chemical peels, laser hair removal, IV hydration, hydrofacial. We were actually one of the first to offer the hydrofacial, which is a no downtime facial. It includes lactic, glycolic, salicylic acids, and it has your face looking glowing and flawless after you leave. And that's one of our number one treatments. Next, what I would say is the chemical peels. And the experience is pretty much you walk in, you're greeted by a smile, you're greeted with love. Welcome to Fleur-de-Lis Beauty. Can I offer you a drink? Can I take your temperature? Can I check you in?
Can I grab your coat?
Can I grab your coat? We check in your jackets. And then we offer you champagne because we love champagne, right?
There's nothing wrong with that.
The water, wine, tea, champagne. And then we escort you into your experience. And at that point, I or a member of our team would go in and assess you and what your skincare goal is, if you're here for just pampering or if you're here for corrective services. And we'll go down the laundry list of questions because we are the nosy nurses. We're known as that because we want to ensure that we completely understand the full person and how it is we're going to treat you. We start off with a cleanse. We turn on the steamer. You have music going. The lights are dim. We put a mask. We do our microdermabrasion. We treat the skin. You get a small upper body massage. We have conversation. We connect. Sometimes we pray. If that's what you need. Sometimes people just come in and they need a hug and they hear the 90s R&B flowing and it's nostalgic to them. And you see tears falling down their eyes based on what they're thinking about. And we're wiping tears, we're supporting, we're hugging, we're uplifting. And then you go and you leave your burdens with me. And then you go and you feel like a different person. So that's pretty much the Fleur-de-Lis experience. Our goal is to uplift and enhance.
My mom didn't tell me any of that when I said her. I was like, did you have a good time? She's like, it was so great. But she, she didn't tell me if she cried. I don't know. Told you to put on Jodeci. I don't know what happened, but she left it all there. She was just like, I mean, but that's important because, it's to an extent, it's an intimate service. And a lot of us, especially us Black women, our skin goes through so much. It gets discolored sometimes. It's dry, it's oily. People don't know how to treat our skin. I've been to dermatologists before, and sometimes they just blanket you with like, yeah, just do this, do that. And you all are really giving individual care to people. And it's like, to know that somebody understands your skin. I feel the same way about our hair. That's why I said I follow the hairdressers wherever they go. To feel that you have that connection, like, oh, you get me and I can do this and this is what I'm looking for. It's such an intimate kind of service. So
and it's a level of comfortability when you come in. There's no judgment. When you come in, sometimes we have women who are like, girl, I'm taking off this wig. I'm like, girl, take off your wig, okay?
Right, and let it out.
Some of the girls have their protective styles and I can't, and they got a perm or whatever. You can't put too much steam. We understand. And that's the goal, to provide access, to provide transparency, to provide support and trust. So you all started with just the two of you, and now your business has grown. Tell us a little bit more about that growth, because that's a great thing. Growth is always a good thing. You started with the two of you. What is happening now at the shop?
So right now, we do have 2 new estheticians, and we have a front office, we have a back office to help us with behind the door, with changing rooms and supplies and stuff. At first, thinking about adding people to your team was like so hard because they're like, we don't know you, we don't know if you're going to be able to give that same love and energy.
Gonna be ruining our brand,
Yeah.
yeah.
And so when you sacrifice and you build a brand from the scratch, you're very, very careful about who you let in and trust. And it almost seems like you're hoarding the business, but you do have to open up for growth. So luckily, we've had some trials and tribulations, but I think we're in our sweet spot right now. We got 2 new amazing girls, Madison and Shanae, and they have been training under us. And they also, because you can train anybody, but you can't teach personality. You can't teach love. You can't teach kindness. You can show people. You can't. It has to be in you. So we have been able to hone in on those 2 girls who are able to maybe not be as full and open and vibrant as we are, but still in the same orbit, so everybody feels a lot more. At first it was like, oh, it's not Wendy or Carla, I'm good. But now it's like, okay, I'll try. So they're more open to trying new people, which is a relief for us because now we can like go on vacation and take
you have somebody who can run it the way that you would,
who could provide those treatments as well.
And scaling your business is never easy, right? It's trying to understand how many hours, how many people, how many products, how many rooms, payroll and understanding taxes and different things. So not only that we have to scale with our clientele and we scaled with our employees, but we scale with, your CPA, and now you need, certain levels of insurance. And so it's a full level thing that goes on when you're trying to grow your business.
And none of it was taught when you were in school.
No, right. No, it's not.
They didn't teach us that at St. Francis.
They did not.
I haven't used a trigonometry. The blue book, you remember the red book, blue book, green book, integrated math? I haven't used any of those things but the dollar sign.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So I wish they did teach entrepreneurship or anything like that in school, because then it gives you options of, do you want to go into the workforce or do you want to work for yourself, and give people a little bit more knowledge before you get started, because we did not know sales tax.
Yes.
Right.
All these paperwork, we didn't know.
I will say though, what was a great turning point for us in growing and understanding business is Carver Bank, who helped us tremendously during the pandemic when most large banks didn't care about us. They didn't care about Black business. They didn't care about women in business. Carver Bank reached out to us and said, do you guys need funding? Do you need support? Do you need understanding how marketing, whatever it is, they supported us. And if anything, I would say to our women or men who are looking to start up in business, seek and create a relationship with your local community. That's so important because they want to see you win. They wanted us to see us win. And recently we were able to ring the NASDAQ bell with them. They invited us, and the CEO, how many bank CEOs do you know call you? So it's very important to invest in your community, back into your community, because they're investing in us.
That's so needed to hear, because I think when we think about getting loans and we think about stuff, we're like, oh, let's go to the big banks, let's go to this. And it's hard. I mean, it is hard. And we don't always look at the Black banks. We kind of, I don't know if we look down on them. I think we just don't look at them.
We just don't look at them. And that's so unfortunate, because they want to help us. They really like yearning and understanding that you have to create relationships as well. When you walk into Carver, they're like, hi, Carla. And I'm like, how do you know it's me?
Right.
We know all our clients. And I'm like, that was, to me, magical. It sealed the deal for me. They don't even, it's like, do you need my ID even? Like,
we know everything about you.
Exactly. We know everything about you. And, we're sitting right here. They sent us a fruit basket, and it's so important to know who you bank with and know what's available to you.
And also too, when you believe in your brand and when you believe so hard on what you're doing, people are going to be drawn to it, right? So once you present yourself in a way like, this is me, this is my business, this is what I have to offer, here I am. People are definitely going to be drawn to your energy, be drawn to your passion, and they're gonna want to help you get to your next level. So take the time, know who your elected officials are, know who your bankers are. Like it's not about just providing a service.
Yeah.
While you were creating a solution to a problem, the problem for us was lack of representation in the skincare community. But then what else? Like you vote for these people every quarter or whatever. Who are they? How could they help you? You're walking by Carbon Bank all the time. You see all these advertisements. What do they got to offer in there? We run into Chase. Chase don't want nothing to do with that. Sorry, Chase. Ain't no shade, but shade.
No, exactly.
So you just have to like look in your resources around you before you go deep, and don't ignore the things that are around you because they can help you.
Yeah.
That's all really solid advice. Knowing what you know now, you all are like such a wealth of information and knowledge if somebody were to start a business. But if somebody came to you and they were like, I want to start a business. I just have this idea. I don't know if it's going to succeed, if it's not going to succeed. And they believed in themselves wholeheartely. What advice would you give to them knowing what you know now that you've experienced with yourself? And let's just put it into context. If another Black woman came to you, because March is actually Women's History Month. So let's just say if another woman came to you and it's like, I want to start a business and I don't know what to do, because I think the problem that we also have is just lack of information, like you were saying, lack of knowledge from our families, because we just grew up in a generation where it was like, you go to school. I remember my mother was like, you go to college or you join the military. Those are your choices. There is no staying at home. There is no creating whatever. You do A or B. So there's just so many more opportunities and options. So if a woman came to you and was like, I want to start a business, I don't really know what to do, but I believe in this. What is like at least the first step that you would tell them that they need to do in order to move this forward?
Pray. Prayer. Find whoever you pray to. I believe in the Lord Jesus Christ. Whatever you assign yourself to, ask for guidance, because honestly, a lot of the connections and the decisions that were made were based off of gut instinct. Carla and I could be in two separate rooms and the question is posed and we tend to make the same decision because we're in alignment with the goals of the company and what we want to see for the future. So just really praying to ask for guidance at first.
For me, it would be to get an LLC, get your name, get your legal documents in order. A lot of us want to start a business and we're still relying on, Zelle and Cash App. I would say form an entity, right? That's first things first. Ensure that your name is available. Ensure that this is something that you can actually trademark and build a brand on that, because a lot of us don't know. And they're like, well, how do I start? And I'm like, you could just start with LegalZoom. Get an EIN number, right? Get an EIN, get your name, get your handles, your social media handles, and then also ensure that you have a business bank account. That's first things first when starting a business. It doesn't matter if your business doesn't generate money. Most businesses don't really generate money for the first 5 years. It's considered a hobby, right? So it can be considered a hobby. So that's first things first, get your documents in order, because I will say, and during the pandemic, a lot of people didn't have their documents in order. So a lot of the PPPs and the EIDLs, a lot of people missed out because they didn't have their documents in order. So you have to always be ready, because there's opportunities in different crises, and that was an opportunity to level up.
And even if you don't do anything with it right away, based on what Carla has said, just have that stuff and sit on it.
Yeah.
I had prior to Fleur de Lis, I have a LLC business that I'm just like sitting on. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. Probably 3-4 years. I'll figure it out.
You were like, I'm just going to take it so nobody else does.
So in the event that if I needed funding or whatever, I could also have relied on that business as well to generate some sort of income.
Yes. And then, start with your friends. Get a group of people together. Ask, how can you help me? Get your, self out on social media. Read. There's so many different outlets out there that you can learn so much. And I'm one of those people. I was like, what book is that? You know what I mean? So that's another way to ensure, and have your elevator pitch down. We literally know our mission and our statements. We could do it anywhere, anytime, because at any given point, somebody can ask you, so what do you do? And you can't be like, ooh, that, ooh, that, ooh.
You want to be able to say it. Yeah.
You have to be able to say it and confidently, because if you stumble, that's your only chance.
Yeah.
If you stumble, you could have missed out on support from many people.
And be your authentic self.
Yeah.
You know, because a lot of times Instagram is, you know, it's a great tool, but it also have you in a rabbit hole.
Yeah.
And it also have you comparing yourself to other people. It also have you attempting to imitate other people. Be yourself, you know, because that's what people are drawn to, you know, when they meet you. They're like, oh, you know, you're very cool. I like this. I like that. So don't be anybody else, you know, be your own voice, be your authentic self. If you don't know something, say you don't, and you'll try to figure out, people will help you along the way, but just always being yourself.
I think that's what makes you all so original and unique and keeps people coming back, is because you are your real authentic selves. You know, for someone's birthday and they come in your shop, you're just as happy, even if you just met them at that point in time. You're like, it's our birthday, like we're all gonna have a birthday. The candidness that you give your clients to talk to them about things, again, that they may not want to talk to. We don't like to always show people our skin and our flaws, and really that's what it is. We don't like to show our flaws. So for someone to say, I'm gonna take my wig off, her man maybe never saw her with her wig off, you know, but she's like, okay, I'm going to come in here and I'm going to, I was watching, I can't remember. It was somebody that was guest hosting for Wendy Williams, one of the guest hosts. And she said, oh, my husband hasn't seen me with no makeup. She's like, I get up in the morning, I put my makeup on. If he comes in and my face isn't done, I put the covers over my face. One of the guest hosts on Wendy, I can't remember. And I was just like, and they've been married a long time. I think it was Leah Remini or somebody like that. And I was just like, wow, you know, that's a lot of work to hide from someone you live with. So for people to come in and feel that connection. Some people don't even have that connection with their own husband. That's what I'm saying. Exactly. So you will come, you bring your authentic self. So before we wrap it up, because I don't want to keep you all for too long, these ladies are busy. They're on Good Morning America. They're at conferences, they're doing all kind of stuff. I was like, I don't know if they're going to want to talk to me. I do know them. I'm like, Wendy and I, we got pictures from our same class. No, we're all cool outside of this. We're fine. Yes. But what do you see now for Fleur de Lis? You've been in business, you're still within the first 5 years, and you made the comment, sometimes you don't make real money for the first 5 years, but you all are doing very well. The word is spreading. I have friends who have seen you all on Instagram because I've either told them or I've posted you in my stories, and they're like, oh, I want to try that place. So as you grow just in confidence and just literally grow in business, what do you see for the next, I mean, who knows what's going to happen the next year, but what do you see for yourselves in Fleur de Lis, at least moving forward for the next year?
It's a loaded question.
It's a loaded question.
Well, tell me what you can. Don't.
It's a loaded question, but I do see another location, possibly bigger, expanding the brand that's more into a lifestyle situation, like we're working on now. You know, because skin, it's deeper than skin. You know, it's the whole person that you're dealing with. Maybe having another one in another state, maybe I would love to see Fleur de Lis in Haiti or in the Caribbean. You know, with a hotel chain, I would love to see that. I would love to have our own IPO. You know,
bring that bell out.
I would buy all the stock I could afford in it, all of it, all my paper, all my coins. Bring it to Haiti.
Being in Haiti, being in Forbes, you know, and really changing the trajectory of. I mean, we already started, but like really amassing millions and being able to retire comfortably and watch the business grow. Maybe one of our kids, Alyssa, Ella, they can take over one day. Hensley, they could take over. I don't know. I just the possibilities are endless.
I feel the same with Wendy. I just turning it into a lifestyle brand. As you know, everyone may not know, but we are planning to run the New York City Marathon, and in that, you know, just transforming ourselves into a lifestyle brand, ensuring that everyone has access to skincare, luxury skincare, and changing the face of skincare within itself, including those Fitzpatrick's 4s through 6, the darker skin types, you know,
and more representation.
More representation. Because we just recently had somebody say, "Can you guys come to Kentucky?" And we're like, Kentucky?
I'd be like, well, for how much? Like, well, we can talk. Like the cornfields of Kentucky, or do you live in, you know, the suburban mansion of Kentucky? I mean,
exactly. So just for someone to say that you're yearning for that experience that we're providing here, and that would be a dream come true to provide real lifestyle, luxurious access to everyone.
Do you see yourself with your own like skincare line and lotions and like kind of?
You know, everyone asks us that question, and to us, it's like more so. I want to merge tech and beauty. You know, we want to merge that, you know, ability to, you know, see yourselves, understand the anatomy, understand the skin on a deeper level, educate people in that sense. So skincare line, I mean, I'm not opposed to it, but we want to patent something. We want to own a patent.
You're like, I want the first laser hair removal that does it all within 5 seconds, and you come in for one treatment and it does everything right there. Like you want all your facial hair to fall off in a snap. That's the machine, right?
Absolutely. So that's pretty much where we're going towards. We want to change the world.
But for now, we're just taking it one day at a time. Enjoying the ride. A lot of ups, a lot of downs.
Yeah.
A lot of this. So we're excited.
Yes, we're so excited. So thank you so much. Like, oh my gosh, for sharing.
No, thank you. Well, I'm gonna let you all do your thank yous first, and then I'll wrap it up with thank you. So if there's any thank yous and shout outs and recognitions that you want to give.
Thank you to Blayne for sharing your platform with us. We're so happy. Thank God, you know, first, obviously, but just thank you to you for allowing us to be here and share your platform with us. We're forever indebted, and thank you very much.
Can you imagine? We went from Miss Greenwood's class to
I love it.
in the 3rd grade, and now we're here talking about business. Who would have thought?
Yeah.
If me asking you to borrow a pencil ends up with this, you know what I mean? But we're very grateful for the opportunity, for the community support, for our parents, our Carla's husband, who's like, he runs everything, like literally everything for our investors, you know, for everybody who has been so supportive to us along the way. 2 regular girls from Flatbush was able to do this and be on all these different platforms. So we're thankful.
Well, I have to thank you all, because I was like, although we're friends outside of this, I was like, but they're so busy. They have like all this stuff to go on. They're not gonna like come on here. So I want to thank you all.
Like it's not right here.
No, I was like, Carla, when she comes, she's like, okay, whatever, any day, anytime.
Whatever time. I'm glad we finally made it.
Yeah. I know. No, I'm so glad, and I'm so thankful that you all came on, because you're such a wealth of information with everything that you said, especially when it comes to starting a business. So thank you for your transparency, because a lot of people make it seem like it's so easy, and I know it's not. When you talked about getting your papers in order, I have a friend who's been on the show before, Dawn Kelly. She has a shop in Queens, the Nourish Spot, and she was able to get so many PPP loans because she had her papers together. And that's what she said. She's like, I have my stuff in order, and a lot of people start filling the paperwork out, and then they're like, oh, I can't do this. So what you said was true, because I've heard it from her. So thank you for just being like a wealth of information. I have to come in now. Like, I've been wanting to come in. I just have to.
Your mom has been.
My mom has been. My sister-in-law came. I know. They came back with champagne or wine or something. I was like, I'm like, I thought I sent you for a facial. Like, did you go to the liquor store? She was like, Carla and Wendy gave it to me. So no, I have to come in, because what you're doing is so awesome. So I just want to thank you again. And I just want to reiterate something that Wendy said. It's just amazing, because we are, you know, we're all just like regular girls growing up in Brooklyn, growing up in Flatbush. We, you know, all have hopes and dreams and stuff. And so to see hopes and dreams come true, things that you probably never hoped and dreamed for at that point in time, to see what your life is and how far it's gone and continues to go, is just like, it just humbles you. It keeps you so humble. So I just want to thank you all again. Thank everybody else for watching. Thank you, ladies, for being here. And I'm just going to give a shout out, though she's not here. I'm going to give a shout out to Diana, who was also on the show. She was on the show last year. Diana Hilaire, who's the founder of When She Comes Home. She also is the elementary school classmate. So Wendy and Diana and I were all in the same class. Carla,
I was younger. I was
yes,
younger.
Carla's a couple years younger than us. So all of us know each other. All of us are friends. All of us have stayed connected, if not consistently, have stayed connected in some kind of way. So I appreciate you, ladies. And I hope everybody goes to Fleur de Lis. Please tell everybody before we go, tell everybody your Instagram, where is Fleur de Lis located, how they can connect with you. I don't want to end without doing that.
Okay, I'll go. We're located on 1468 Flatbush Avenue in Brooklyn. Our phone number is 718-650-2659. On Instagram, we're at Fleur de Lis Beauty. That's FLEURDELIS Beauty.
And if anybody has any questions, they can feel free to contact you. I'm going to do a post on my Instagram with all the information and contact stuff. I'll talk to you about that after. But thank you so much, ladies, for being here. And I hope you enjoy the rest of your day.
We love you. We love you. Bye.